All right, yeah, this is Bear, and we did see both these teams play yesterday, so we got a little bit of a preview on both of them. So we did get to see, I believe PFM lost to Euphorium, UES losing to ATN, so this is the losers bracket coming in, but Band's already kind of rocketing through here. Hecarim, Evelyn Morgana from blue side, and Rengar, Thresh, and Skarner from red side. And are we still doing the four juggernauts that are auto banned, or? Okay, sounds good. Gragas being first pick on PMM side, so we saw Gragas played plenty of times yesterday. Very, very strong jungler, so I expect to see a lot more of him. He's double banned now, just for good measure. Oh, it's true. We let him ban anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. I cannot tell you how much that I absolutely despise Nunu. It just pains me to see him in the game, but fantastic counter jungler. He gives you a lot of control, so we'll see how well he can play the Nunu and how much time he's spending in the opposite team's jungle. Braum, just another fantastic support. It's great to see him in the game, and so much disengage comes on his side, and he gives you a lot of lane pressure as well.
My microphone was muted, guys. Sorry. I did the whole epic intro spiel and everything.
Wow. Well, they heard me, so we were
They were hearing one side of a conversation.
Yeah, Nautilus and Ashe coming across the side of PMM. Ashe, a little bit of a niche pick. Just awesome initiation during mid and late game with her ult, and Nautilus coming out too. We'll see. I'm assuming that is either going to be a top or a support Nautilus. Kind of a little flex pick there, so we'll see where they decide to throw Nautilus after they scope out the rest of UES's picks.
Regardless, Undefined Esports is going to have to be really careful if it picks this game. The Ashe with the long-range crowd control, and then the follow-up from a Gragas and a Nautilus. Whatever target they find in the jungle is going to be locked down for a really long time. So Undefined Esports is seriously going to need to focus on their vision this game.
And we actually do see the first Azir played today. He was banned all 3 games yesterday, I believe, and for very good reasons. He's such a strong laner, and he actually slipped through here. So we'll see how well Azir can be played here, and how they opt to use him in those team fights. So much poke, awesome disengage, awesome zone control. I'm excited to see the Azir played.
Yes, especially just because Azir has been such a high impact and competitive for a while now. He has more range than basically any other champion in the game. His ability to influence the backline without putting himself in danger is one of his greatest strengths.
Yeah, Azir just such a strong pick in the current meta. Tristana locked in too. I think Tristana's a great pairing with Braum. Pretty high range, are able to get those passive procs off a little bit easier with her. And Renekton and Twisted Fate coming out on the side of Pet My Meme. Renekton, a very strong top laner, he's a little bit of a lane bully, and with the introduction of that new Hydra, the Titanic Hydra, I've seen a lot of people rush Titanic Hydra right into Dead Man's Plate on Renekton, and it's such a strong item build for him. It gives you everything that you need. We'll see how well they can play that Renekton up and top. And Twisted Fate, not the greatest laner against Azir, but it just gives you so much map control if we're able to get those good ultimates out.
Yeah, it really is all about picks on Pet My Meme side. They have to look for that strong vision control, try and find the enemy targets, but I actually want to talk about this Renekton a little bit more. 1 second, I need to tell them not to pick Darius.
Yeah, we might have to redo this because we do see Darius soft lock, which they end up swapping over to Pantheon. So okay, we won't need to...
Okay, anyways,
drastic changes there.
I wanted to talk about this Renekton. just because do you think it really fits in this composition they've built, one that's built around picks? Because Renekton is just kind of this early lane bully, and he falls off later into the game. So what do you think about him as a pick in this composition?
You know, I'm all right with the pick. Renekton has this huge thing about him where he drops off super hard late game, and it is true, he loses a lot of what he's so good at as the game goes on, but he's still fairly strong in the mid game. And I think if Kabloomy decides to either focus mid or top, and you have the Twisted Fate get some good ultimates off and really bully that top lane, you can see Renekton take over a lane and really carry a game. Yesterday, I think we saw it was Tuba carry incredibly hard with an Aurelia pick. We saw the next game afterwards, there was a Maokai that kind of got out of control. Top laners have been such a big part of the wins on both sides and on a lot of the games, and picking these really hard carry top laners, I love seeing it. So if Renekton gets a big lead, he can push it so far into the game. And Pantheon on the other side, that's even more interesting. Pantheon has so much damage output, and a little bit of a counter to TF, I guess. He'll be able to jump around, and he has a semi-global ult. Might be able to follow along too if we see a lot of ganks bot lane coming from those global ultimates.
Yeah, I feel like top lane has been such a high carry threat throughout this tournament so far. It's been prioritized a lot as far as damage is concerned. We saw it a lot yesterday with you know, Tuba on Aurelia and then Hecarim, and of course we had Gangplank banned a few times. So we definitely been seeing a lot of these top carries. And I think it's more to do with just because most of the junglers that we're going to see right now, they haven't experienced a ton of tournament play, and in solo queue, top tends to be the most ignored lane for junglers. You know, that whole meme that the top laners are sitting on their own island. But that's not going to be the case here in this coordinated environment where junglers can apply a lot more pressure top, and it's going to prevent that snowball if they're not careful.
Yeah, you see so many top laners just get left alone, and it's good to see junglers spending some time up there and giving those top laners some love. You're able to see what they can do when they get that focus and when they can get that little bit of a gold lead, how far they can push that. I'm a little surprised. I mean, we saw Rumble banned every single game yesterday, I believe. It was the first ban from Blue Side.
Yep,
all three
game.
games. Not banned today, not picked either, so maybe they'll swap up. Maybe people figured out they were banning Rumble for no reason, I suppose, unless they kind of scoped out the opponent. But either way, no Rumble ban, no Rumble pick either. We also see Fiora left up as well, which, honestly, I think Fiora's got to be the strongest top laner on this patch right now. And I think we saw her banned once yesterday, not picked any of the games where she was left open. And again, no ban, no pick. I don't know if people just don't play Fiora, don't like her, or just not willing to take the risk of playing a champ that might not be too versed. But honestly, very surprised that we haven't seen Fiora played yet.
Yeah, going back into this game, though, we do see that Nunu locked in. That hard counter jungler going into the enemy team's jungle, stealing away their camps. What do you think of this Nunu pick, and what do you think he should build? Because that poacher's knife is not very good, according to a lot of junglers, but we have seen a few people build it.
We have seen poacher's knife work with Nunu. I feel in LCS, I thought Hai played Nunu one game and built poacher's knife on him. I don't remember if he won that game or how well he played on him, but you know, I don't think it's terrible. I think if you spend enough time and put that effort in and really get some deep vision in your opponent's jungle and really wreaking havoc, Nunu is the one to do it with, because you're really easily able to steal these camps and get away very quickly. In teamfights, he gives you a lot of zone control. His ultimate is so strong to control where champs are at. I hate Nunu, though. I absolutely hate Nunu. I can't stand him. We'll see what he decides to do, and again, how much time he's going to spend in the opposing team's jungle. But I think it takes so much strategy and so much prediction on where the enemy jungler is going to be in playing Nunu, and we'll see if he can play him well.
Yes, we will. We are getting into the loading screen here, and we will see the team compositions shortly coming up onto the screen. Here we go. And we're going to get started with the starting lineups. On the blue side, we have Pet My Meme with Color Wheel in the top lane, Kabloomy in the jungle, Hentel in mid lane, Midnight Drop at 80 carry, and Russian Guy at support. And on the red side, we're going to have Undefined Esports with Radara in the top lane, UES Gammy Gam in the jungle, Be My Waifu Please in the middle lane, Oh By Far at 80 carry, and Bleeds at support. Going to be getting into this game any second now. This is the losers bracket first round. Whoever wins this will move on to face ATN in the second round of the losers bracket. It's going to be an exciting matchup. We do see Kabloomy on Gragas again. Seems to be a pretty priority pick for him.
Yeah, Kabloomy looked comfortable on Gragas the other day. They fell behind very early in the game against ATN, and they ended up making some very nice plays late. I feel like he was comfortable on Gragas, and that's the champ that he likes to play. We'll see if he can hopefully have a little bit of a better early game, but with that Nunu on the opposing side, he might have some trouble in the jungle.
He certainly might. As PMM pushes out into their jungle, we might have some level 1 shenanigans here. The boards are going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage, and we'll see whether or not either team wants to play around. Oh, yep, that is going to be the case. Kabloomy and company going to look to charge through here, but against an Azir, they got to be afraid of that soldiers, and they back off.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything too crazy out of the level 1s yet in either of the games that were played yesterday. Looking for the most part going to be a pretty safe beginning as well here, just getting those wards out and trying to defend their side of the jungle.
I feel like it would have been a good idea to charge him right there, actually, because the Gammy was still in the base, way back there. It's poor of him not to come out so early, because if they had decided to invade right there, there would have been no way they could have fought because it was 4v5.
Yeah, definitely. There's a little bit of a chance there, but just standard starts, and we'll see. I'm assuming both top laners are going to be taking camps here. Renekton looks like he's around the Raptor camp, and we'll see if Pantheon opts to take the Wolves after they spawn. I think a very good start for those top laners. A little curious that Pantheon opted for the Longsword instead of Doran's Blade. Most of those top laners opt to do Doran's Blade into a lot of pots when they teleport back, but we'll see what they do.
We're going to get this start here. Everybody hanging out in their right side jungle. A little bit of east Krugs for the bottom lane here of, or not east, west Krugs by Tristana. They are going to get a little bit of an experience lead early on there, whereas it looked like Gragas did take his own Krugs. So we're going to look for this early level 2. Both supports seem to have tanked the camps a little, but both of them are Relic Shield champions, so they've got that a little bit of sustain to keep them healthy.
Yeah, cheeky little start there. You see Nunu consumed the Gromp to give Tristana and Braum a little bit of a leash on that, and Pantheon actually started the blue buff while Nunu was doing that, so they're able to save a little bit of time in finishing both those camps and get their team a little bit of an advantage in clearing that jungle.
Yep, and we do see Gragas. Oh wait, Russian guy is gonna go in on O by far. Braum standing in the way, but no shield yet. Tristana manages to get a full explosive charge onto Russian guy. Midnight Drop following up with some great Rangers focus attacks, and they win the trade in the bottom lane.
It'll be interesting to see how aggressive either of these sides play bot lane. I feel like both lanes definitely have an opportunity to pick up kills. It's really dependent on how well those supports can land their skills.
Yeah, when you have two kind of late-game champions landing against each other, while you usually wouldn't see aggression out of those champions, if both of them are late-game, then neither of them have anything to be worried about.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of trying to focus down on an Ashe lane. Really no escape other than that flash, so we'll see if Nunu makes any trips bot lane to try to take advantage of that.
He has made the trip middle lane. No summoners burned by a Hentil, however, so not much is going to come out of that. Nunu not the greatest ganking jungler in the game.
Yeah, that's your standard Nunu gank. You run up, you snowball, and you run away. If your mid laner can convert off that, fantastic. If not, you just kind of roam back and take some more camps.
We do say Raydara winning heavily in this top lane matchup, throwing the spears, and you know, it might be a little bit difficult for Color Wheel to win in this matchup, just because Raydara has that great shield. Oh, he might die. Brings the flash though, so he's gonna be safe. Gonna head right back. Doesn't have his teleport, however, so he's gonna have to walk. Maybe miss 2 or 3 CS to the tower, as the wave is currently in the middle of the lane.
And you know, I'm not sure he honestly needed to flash there. Pantheon was completely out of mana. He had about 20 mana and was pretty far off from having anything that would have been able to take Color Wheel down, so you know, maybe a little bit of a panic flash, just a flash to be safe, but I don't think he needed to burn it. But really good pickup by Radar.
Here comes Kabloomy into the bottom lane. They've pulled in Bleeds. Bleeds does get slowed by the barrel. Midnight is trying to keep on the slow, but it's not going to be enough as Bleeds escapes to the tower. It's going to be the end of that trade. A nice gank by Kabloomy, but without ult, not a ton of pressure to knock the other team back towards you where you can get them dead.
Yeah, pre-6, just there's not that much damage coming from either side. It's going to be really hard to pick up any kills, especially if the one that you're targeting is a support on either side. Both of these guys have enough stats already to really avoid dying.
He has found O by far with the hook. Bleeds is taking those arrows right in the shields, but it is going to run out. He has taken a good deal of damage out of potions now, whereas his opponent is not. Going to be a bit dangerous for him as this lane goes on. A Midnight Drop is pushing towards their tower. But we do have Gamigam coming in. Here comes O by far with the rocket jump. 3, 4 procs onto the stun. Midnight Drop is going really low. And it is going to be a slight dive by Gamigam to finish the kill. O by far uses his flash unnecessarily. It's still going to be first blood for you Undefined Esports. They're gonna Gamigam's going to head back into his jungle. A really great early start.
Yeah, definitely a very well-timed gank there. They're able to get a hook down. They're able to, or not a hook, excuse me. They're able to get Brahm's passive procced right on. They're able to get enough damage, just barely enough. Tristana was able to flash forward and get that last tick of damage for first blood. It actually went over to Nunu.
Russian guy coming in on Bleeds. A heal comes out by O by far. Hensel comes into the fight with his ultimate. They're looking for Gammy. They get him. Hensel might go down to O by far here, however. He burns his heal. It's not going to be enough. He is going to die to O by far. O by far jumps in. He's looking at Russian guy. Kabloomy has arrived. Not level 6 yet, but his barrel is going to be enough to dissuade them from following. The dragon was stopped, but it was a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, they were looking to pick up Dragon right off the back of that kill bot lane. Gamigam was very low, and Hensel deciding to ult in, trying to stop that Dragon. He is able to pick up a kill and stop that. Tristana picking up a kill off the back on Hensel. I think that's worth it for the most part. You know, you lose out on your ultimate as Twisted Fate that has a decent-sized cooldown, but able to pick up a kill and stop that Dragon, I think that's worth it.
Yes, it is, and but Gamigam has picked up this Sightstone now. They know that the other team is more of a pick-oriented composition, so it's really intelligent of them to pick up a double Sightstone comp, because when you have a ton of wards, it makes you far less likely to get picked, because you'll see when that team groups up, you'll see where they're headed, and you'll know not to be there by yourself.
Yeah, and with Nunu having that Sightstone, we'll see how far he wants to go in the opposing jungle and how much he's going to try to steal. It doesn't look like we're going to see a poacher's knife out of him today, though, so we won't be seeing that.
Skirmishers might gonna give him that like burn and the damage reduction of being a tank.
Yeah, I like it a little bit better than poachers, and we see a little bit of a gank organizing up top. We'll see if Radar is going to be able to escape this.
It is going to be a 3-man gank. Hensel is coming in. Radar is stuck alone under the tower. Has his shield up. Gets the stun is not blocked, however. And Kabloomy is running away as Color Wheel secures the kill.
Yeah, very easy setup there. They get a gold turn right as Gragas is body slamming. Kabloomy, the tanky one of the bunch, is able to tank that turn and easily enough damage to take both Radar down and the tower afterwards. Good pickup.
The bottom lane of PMM is chased away by Azir and Bleeds here. They chased them back to their tower, preventing any chance that that dragon would be contested. Undefined Esports comes back for the dragon and secures it.
Yeah, that's just going to be that trade. With sending 3 top, your jungle and your mid laner, not much that UES could do other than just pick up that dragon. You always want to get that first dragon, but if you're trading it for a tower and a kill, definitely something that you can afford to do.
Yeah, honestly, the tower and the kill is probably going to be better at this early stage of the game, and especially since they're more of a pick composition. That means they're going to be more oriented around the middle game, and when you have that snowball lead, especially on a Renekton, that is definitely going to help. And you know how much he's focusing on early game with this triple Doran start.
Absolutely. What an aggressive build. 3 Doran's Blade. He's going to go back with some gold that he picked up from that kill top lane. He has a CS lead, the tower down, a couple items. We'll see what he can do now that that tower is down.
Yes, we will. Not much else going on in the map right now. Gammy just taking his red, headed towards middle lane. He does know that pink ward is there, so it looks like he's gonna head over there and clear it. Kabloomy and Renekton are headed up through the jungle right now, but they aren't gonna arrive in time to save this pink ward. 30 gold over to Gammy Gam. People looking around.
Yeah, not too much going on throughout the map. A little bit of a lull here. A little bit interesting, both mid laners have virtually been left alone. Twisted Fate roaming around a little bit. Azir moving down bot a couple times to see if he was able to get anything, but for the most part, pretty standard lane for them. Azir with a little bit of a CS lead.
That does seem to be the case. Kabloomy might be looking top lane here. Not sure how much of a gank he's going to be able to get off as long as Color Wheel is applying so much pressure. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Radara opts to just sit up in this top lane and farm as Renekton continues to push the lane, or if he's going to try to get a good ultimate and roam around to pick up some kills. It's hard when you're playing someone like Pantheon where, you know, you are relatively early game based, you want to win lane and push your lane out, but it's the opposite in his case.
Waifu is being 2v1 in the middle lane, gets the shield, throws out the Emperor's Divide to knock Kentel and Kabloomy back. Radara teleports in, but there's not much to get here. I think he should have canceled that.
Yeah, Azir forced to burn that cleanse.
He's using this teleport to ult into the bottom lane, but he comes in, he's burning low. Here comes Hentel. He uses the Destiny Gate to get in. Bleeds is going to go down to Midnight Drop. Radara is all alone. He's trying to return a kill onto Hentel, but a heal comes out for Midnight. They're chasing onto O by far. Midnight Drop looking for the triple kill, but he's not going to get it. Color Wheel is going to secure that kill instead. Midnight Drop turns into the other direction. Gammy Gam flashes over the wall. Looks like he is going to be able to get away, but PMM getting a lot of pressure on this bottom lane. Gammy Gam out of mana. Color Wheel going to pressure him away so that they can get at least some damage on this tower as Be My Waifu is coming into the lane.
Yeah, what a big fight for PMM. You saw that Pantheon opted to teleport mid lane, and off that he ends up trying to ult bot. A little bit of a panic move. He's trying to get something off burning this teleport. It goes a little far. They are able to pick up a kill on Nautilus, but then you see Twisted Fate ultimate down bot. Renekton follows as well with his teleport. They're able to pick up 3 kills off the back of that. Huge fight for PMM.
We didn't see anything, guys. That did not happen.
And that is a little bit of the struggle of playing Azir. He's such a strong laner. He is difficult to play. So
what are you talking about, man? Nothing happened.
Will be nice to be my lane.
Hentel coming out with the early lead in Deco as UES looks to come into the mid lane. Please gets hooked, but not going to amount to much. Hentel running a little bit low on mana, but more importantly, PMM doesn't have any backup here, so there is no fight to be had.
Yeah, and we finally see that, again, these top laners, one of them seems to always get a decent-sized lead, and that's Renekton in this case. He has those 3 Dorns late still, has a Tiamat. I really expect him to just continue pushing that top lane and trying to get some deep wards in their jungle so he can avoid dying to both Nunu or Pantheon trying to get a little bit of a gank off, but he should be able to split pretty successfully here, and that's going to be a big, big plus for PMM here.
It looks like Kabloomy's gonna be looking at the bottom lane. They do have the Russian, and he is looking for the engage onto Bleeds. Oh, Kabloomy with the flash body slam lands onto Bleed. Oh, by far jumps away, but Bleeds is taking a lot of damage. Ult comes out from Nautilus. It's gonna be enough to secure the kill onto Midnight Drop. This 3-in-1 Ashe in the bottom lane. Dragon coming up in 43 seconds. This is going to be a problem for Undefined Esports as they look to pressure a little bit more around the Dragon area.
Yeah, fantastic body slam flash. There's just, it's so hard to react to when you're on the opposing end of it, and he hits both of them with it. He whiffs his ult a little bit, but with the help of Nautilus,
Radara getting low in bot lane. Hentel uses his Destiny Gate to come in and lock down the kill with the yellow card. They're going to decide not to push this tower because they can't see too much of Undefined Esports, but that ultimate for that kill, it is going to be worth it. But it looks like Undefined Esports is in position to trade back the Dragon. Only Ashe in range to help as the rest of the team is on the walk up.
Yeah,
Dragon is getting down pretty fast. It looks like they're going to secure this pretty easily. This should be the second Dragon coming down for Undefined Esports.
Yeah,
Only
really
one Dragon got taken away.
The focused top lane, I mean, that is going to be so free for Twisted Fate whenever his ultimate is up. A little bit of a downside, though. Giving up another Dragon, you really like to get that first Dragon just for these stats. But they'll pick up a kill. I'm sure they'll be able to get that tower in a little bit. We'll see if it's worth it in trading that TF ultimate for another Dragon.
Yes, we will. Looks like Braum and Azir just going to be sitting in the middle lane, farming some minions. Bleed's heading into the jungle. He is going to find Kabloomy and Color Wheel there. Oh, the Color Wheel just fell back to the mid lane. He does see Kabloomy, however. Kabloomy steals away that... Ooh, but Glacial Fissure comes out for Bleeds. Rushing Guy has joined. Here comes the Enchanted Crystal Arrow from Ashe. Does not manage to cancel the rocket jump, but it does get the stun. Bleeds jumps up with the wall to his AD carry. Midnight Drop is focusing on the Bleeds. Bleeds is going low. Looks like he's going to go down. Midnight Drop is on a rampage. They want some more. They want to get far, but he has run away. There are no minions to help them. Waifu going low in the mid lane. Hansel looking for the dive. Flash with the stun. But meanwhile in the bot lane, Far has gotten hit by the Nautilus ultimate. He is going to go down as well. Midnight Drop is unstoppable. Two of Undefined Esports are chasing onto Hentel. Hentel and team are turning around looking for Raydara. Hentel is low, but so is that turret they've decided to hide behind. Raydara is low on mana. He dives onto Hentel. Heal comes out to save Hentel's life. Raydara escapes under the tower, but not for long as Midnight Drop is dominating. They're looking for Menor, but Gammy Gam is on the run. Looks like this is going to be the end of this fight as PMM decides to recall with low mana. Gammy Gam heading towards the top lane where Color Wheel is pressuring this tower. Looks like he's decided to recall. Not much he can do. Azir is headed up though. Gonna wave clear the minions. Kabloomy sitting in the jungle over here. Gammy Gam has decided to cancel his recall. This is 3 members of Undefined Esports heading up towards the top lane, but it's not going to be in time. Color Wheel is going to escape. Might recall, might look for middle lane. We'll see what he decides to do.
Yeah, really extended kind of fight there. Bleed crazily going in, a very questionable play. He burns that ult on Kabloomy when he's by blue buff stealing Gromp. He had vision of both Nautilus and Ashe that were close by. There's just no way they're going to be able to get a pick there. Ashe just burns ult, it hits Tristana. They focus right down on Braum. They're able to pick up that kill. A little bit after, they end up picking up a kill on Tristana a little further in the jungle. Meanwhile, Hentel's in mid lane, able to get a solo kill onto the Azir, and that's a terrible sign when that's when that happens. You can't have that, especially when Nunu is coming mid to try to get a gank off, and you still end up dying, and then more kills kind of flow over. EF ends up escaping to the rest of his team. Pantheon chases a little too far, gets caught as well. 3 kills going over to PMM, and they're just expanding that lead that they have here.
Yeah, Midnight Drop, so fed. Nearly onto 2 items already. Let's talk a little bit more about Ashe's late game damage potential in this game. What do you think of Ashe?
Not the most damage out of an AD carry that you would want, but the ultimate is just such a huge part of Ashe. That ult wins team fights. It gets awesome engages. The stun lasts so long if you get it to, or if you shoot the arrow far enough. Those picks, they just win team fights. If you get those right ults out, it's gonna win you the game. And not the most damage out of her, but when you're 6-1 and you have this huge lead over your opponents, she's gonna hurt.
Here comes the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It does not hit Gammy Gam. He is going to get away. But this is the cool thing about Ashe. If you fail the arrow, you're already at such a long distance that you don't have to engage. But it looks like they still want to engage anyway. Russian guy engaging on the radar. Glacial Fissure comes out. This is a big choke point. This is the best fight UES is going to get, but they are still losing. Color Wheel coming in onto Raydara. Midnight Drop is godlike. He has secured the kill. Looks like PMM is going to look for the mid lane. A Destiny coming out from Hentel, coming onto Waifu. Waifu uses the cleanse to get away from the stun. Hentel looking for more. Throws out the wild cards. Does not connect with Waifu. He is going to get away. All right. Midnight Drop, and the rest of Pet My Meme sitting here in the middle lane, looking to take this second-tier middle lane tower.
Yeah, and for a moment it looked good for UES, and the Ashe ultimate missed, so that's a tool down for PMM. They get a really good choke point where Nunu gets a full channeled ult on, I believe, 3 different champs from PMM. They're just too far behind. Not enough focus on the carries. They end up losing 2 and only getting 1, and here we see They a little too far, a little greedy. Really wanted that blue buff, gets cut out for it and pays the iron price.
Yeah, not only did the Glacial Fissure get into a perfect position where it slowed basically everybody on Pet My Meme, but they did have that fully channeled Nunu ultimate, and even if you're building tank, that still does a decent amount of damage, but more importantly, it hits this really long slow. But because of the enormous lead coming out from PMM, they just completely fight through that, win the fight easily.
And they really need Azir to step up here. Azir was a little bit in the back of that fight, and if he would have gotten a good ultimate and blocked PMM from crashing in on that afterwards, it would have helped so much. He would have been able to poke with his soldiers, but he wasn't there for it. Kabloomy came from the side, was able to ult him away. He ended up saving his ultimate after the fact when Twisted Fate used Destiny to catch up.
Ooh, that's a long-range enchanted crystal arrow. The stun lasts a really long time. Kabloomy perfectly chains his ultimate to keep Nunu from escaping. This is going to be an easy dragon for PMM, stopping any potential of the one factor that UES still had going, which was the dragon stack. It's going to be a dragon for Pet My Meme as they rotate towards the middle lane, and UES looks to farm some jungle camps.
Yeah, another pick going over to the side of PMM. That enchanted crystal arrow able to pick up a kill and then a dragon right off the back of it. Very good pickup on the side of PMM, and they're posturing around Baron looking to get those deep wards out.
Yes, they are. Looks like they're camping a little bit in this bush. Waiting for somebody to check. Bleeds is going to be the victim of the bush trap. Color Wheel is unstoppable, and with 1 down, they're going to rotate towards mid lane, deciding not to risk the Baron, as they're so far ahead, they barely need it. Just going to push up these lanes, try and secure a tower on an out rotation. You do see Midnight Drop pushing up through bottom lane. Obyfar is going to be the only member able to defend this, and the turret is already low. Radara and the rest of UES sitting in the jungle off to the left here. But what fight can they really get?
Yeah, just this big lead that PMM has is just leading to more and more picks. Just the next step is to eventually force down an inhib turret or an inhib that might come off a big team fight in their jungle, or it might even come from trying to force a Baron fight here. See them posturing around mid here.
Rotating around the middle lane. Nothing that they can do to stop this. Hentel gets caught in the turret aggro. He is tanking the shots, but the rest of his team is cleaning into the fight. Rushing guy on the front line. Azir is getting off a lot of damage, but Be My Waifu has secured the kill on to Hentel. He jumps in, tries to use the Emperor's Divide, but it doesn't manage to push the team back. PMM coming in, double kill for Color Wheel. Obyfar looking to return it, but nothing comes out. Obyfar is going to use the rocket jump, tries to go in onto Kabloomy, but Kabloomy uses the body slam to get out. Obyfar really wants to reset. Color Wheel jumps in! Midnight Drop is legendary as Obyfar goes down. That's going to be another kill for Color Wheel, and one more kill for Midnight Drop. UES is Gaming Game is out of mana. He does get hooked, but flashes away. PMM going to be looking for the middle lane tower as well as the inhibitor to follow up with that.
And
or not, they're going to back off. They're going to be
for PMM. They're pushing that tower down, and Hentel actually ends up taking aggro. He takes a couple tower shots. Ashe is forced to burn her enchanted crystal arrow so early in that fight. I thought it hit the Braum, and you know it's right up front. It's not going to stun that long. They're able to get up an early kill right on that Twisted Fate, and quite frankly, a very good fight for them. 3 members of PMM were so low that Tristana really wants to chase pick up any of those kills, because then she's going to get resets for days and eventually pick the rest of them up. Renekton, though, 8-0-3. He's able to get a flash stun on her. They're able to burst it down right away. Just able to turn that fight around off Tristana being a little bit greedy towards the end there.
That is the case. You see UAS trying to get whatever security they can in their jungle. Trying to throw out some wards. Not a ton of vision control from them. They haven't, none of that. There's only 1 ward on the red side jungle, and the Baron is going to be pressured any minute now, since PMM knows that they have absolute control of that area. They're going to throw down their own wards, maybe sweep away a few of UES's if there were any there. We do say Radara and Bleeds coming up through here. They are not going to be spotted by a ward. They're going to sit on the edge of the Baron Pit, throw a ward over. They are going to get spotted on that one ward right there. They know Radara and Bleeds are there. Here comes the Hawkshot. It reveals Radara. Radara is left all alone by his support. It looks like he is going to fall here. Hentel is going to secure the kill, and the rest of Undefined Esports is not going to be able to do anything about it.
And just a fantastic pickup from PMM. That is, again, just coming off those deep wards that they have and coming off the advantage that they gained early in the game. They see both the Pantheon and the Braum going toward that Baron Pit and just collapse on them as they back off and look to recall. They're able to pick up a free kill on the Pantheon, and we'll see what they get off of it.
Yes, we will. We are going to have a pause coming out.
And we're hopefully we'll be able to get through this pause quickly. Looks like one of the players is just having some issues with their client, so we'll try to get through this as soon as we possibly can. But yeah, very big lead for PMM going into this. We see them getting a couple really good team fights. There was a huge one bot lane where Pantheon ended up ulting and a lot of the champs committed. I think they ended up getting a 3-for-1 there, and just a couple good fights. They put them in just a fantastic position, and they've been pushing those advantages very well.
Yes, they have. PMM just has such an enormous lead now. They've built up complete vision control over the jungle. They managed to make that pick onto Radara before he could recall.
Yeah, and all those arrows coming in big for Ashe. She's 8-1-5. We again see a top laner that has gotten a little bit out of control. 8-0-3 on the side of Color Wheel. Really pushing these lanes. We saw Twisted Fates. He used his ultimate to help out top lane a couple times, and in all these games now where these top laners getting huge advantages and really carrying these team fights a little bit. So we'll see how well they're able to close this game out. Again, a couple games yesterday where there were some crazy throws and a couple comebacks and just struggles to close them out. But again, PMM looking very, very strong right now.
Definitely. And since we have the opportunity here with the pause, let's go a bit over the builds we're seeing. Radara, way behind, picks up the Randuins, but still has that Brutalizer. What do you think you should build in a situation where you're this far behind?
You know, it's so hard for a champion like Pantheon. Again, he really wants to bully that early game and just didn't have the greatest ultimates. He fell behind early. Twisted Fates and Gragas, they had that early 3-man gank up top. When you're in that, you kind of have two different options. You could just try to continue building damage and see if your team can carry a little bit, get you through these fights, and you can pick up some kills. Or you can opt to do what he ended up doing here. You know, he built that Randuins to try to be a little bit tanky and just get a little utility out there. And I think that's normally what you probably want to do in situations like this. Building damage, you're just not really going to be able to blow anyone up. You guys are so far behind. Might as well get some tanky stats and see if you can block enough damage to have one of your other laners carry.
But we are going to get back in. Pause has ended. We do see Pet My Meme in here with a very large gold lead. Kabloomy gets the double body slam over the wall. Color Wheel looking to follow up. Goes in, lands a bit of damage. Does get deflected. A waste of an ultimate. But not going to mean a ton. Although, Undefined Esports maybe looking for the disengage. For the re-engage. Trying to take advantage of anything they can get when they're this far behind. 12,000 gold lead. Oh, here comes the Enchanted Crystalando. Lands onto Bleed's shield, but the full duration stun comes out. Midnight Drop is legendary. Bleeds has gone down. PMM deciding not to look for more beyond the Azir Tower. They're backing off, heading towards the Baron. Might want to pressure this, or might want to bait a fight, but they cannot bait a fight when they are standing on wards.
Yeah, that's that advantage of Ashe. You get a free arrow. If it hits someone, such a long stun, they're able to pick up that kill on Braum. And for UES, if anyone's going to get picked, it better be Braum.
Far. almost getting into the fight, but he manages to use his jump before he actually gets knocked away. Hento is stuck completely alone here. He is going to go down to Radara. That's going to be one down from Pet My Mean. The rest of them are going to decide to back off, not take any risks with their lead. Hento in a bad position, but it's not a mistake that they can't recover from. Oh, yeah. Be My Waifu trying for that engage again, but every single time he tries that combo, he doesn't manage to knock anybody back towards his team, which is what he's trying to do, but it's just never succeeding.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication on the side of PMM. They had 3 people that were near that bush near Red Buff and
looking for the re-engage. This is going to be a 4v5. Game again coming in late, however. Legendary on Midnight Drop. Russian guys glow. Double kill coming out for Midnight Drop. There is low health bars all over PMM. They've managed to secure Russian guy. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of PMM, however, but with low health bars, they might not be able to contest this dragon. By Far looking for more, jumps in onto Midnight Drop, but he disrespects the fact that Hentel is there as well, doesn't secure the kill, gets stunned immediately after jumping, and dies very soon after. 3-for-1 in favor of Pet My Meme as they look to take away this dragon. UES may be looking for a steal.
And even though it was a 2-for-1 in favor of PMM, that was a good fight for UES. They had health bars. The whole side of PMM, they were relatively low, and By Far just gets so greedy. He decides to go for a kill on Ashe to burst her down, but Twisted Fate was right behind the Ashe, able to just get that stun off and take the Triss down. If they would have just gone to Dragon, they would have picked up their third and maybe had, another objective that they can try to pick up something positive and get a win from. That 5th Dragon being so strong, just the greed for kills leads them a little bit astray.
Guess not much you can do but be desperate against the 13,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and at this point you gotta try to get something off of it, but when you have a free Dragon sitting there, might as well take it.
So, we do see the Black Cleaver coming out from Colorway Hill. Here, got it quite a while ago. What do you think of that item after its rework with the Phage?
As far as Black Cleaver goes, I'm a huge fan of it. I think it really gives a lot of laners what they need. Yeah, this is going to be definitely a free Baron. And that's just coming from that huge lead. They were able to pick up a couple kills. UES a little late getting out of base, and those deep wards, they just know they can take that for free.
By Far. Oh! Color Wheel flashes to secure the red buff away from Far. Actually really important as Far needs that red buff to kite. But now, without it, their already weak fight, their already weak carries are going to be even weaker.
Going for the seal is fine. Trading Flash for it, a little questionable. Okay, it's great to get red buff off, but
Ashe's builds.
Oh, I love it.
No, this is a very original one. Triple crit items. I wonder how much crit he has. I have to actually check this.
Div, Phantom Dancer, IE. I mean, a high damage output. I'm assuming that Pickaxe is going to be Last Whisper, but
I can't see crit chance on them.
When you're 12-1-5, why not?
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, 3 points for the Ashe with that enchanted crystal arrow.
But yeah, that's a really long stun if she can land it from any range. And even if she doesn't land it, PMM has such a lead that they don't have to reward to get a counter engage, so they can just stay out of range or wait for it to come back up. And with such a huge gold lead, they have a lot of time to play with as well. Color Wheel pressuring this top lane tower. The Baron minion might take it away, but either way, PMM is going to take the middle lane tower. The Russian guy engages onto Bleed. Here comes the Nunu ultimate. Game does stand up on the front line. The Absolute Zero isn't going to do a ton of damage. Top lane tower has been destroyed. Middle lane inhibitor is going to go down. They're looking for Radara. Radara doesn't have any methods to escape. Midnight Drop is again a legendary. He's 13-1. Gets another kill for himself. PMM with Baron buff pushing in to the UES base. It looks like they're going to back off. Look for that 3-inhib finish. The people with the Baron buff just going to back off. Color Wheel going to teleport into the bottom lane. Get that lane pushing in their favor. By Far tries to interrupt the recall, but as the explosive charge doesn't do any damage, it doesn't stop the recall, and the auto attack is too late.
PMM just playing their Baron buff so well. They send Renekton up top, who's 8-0-6. He has Black Cleaver, he has Randuin's. He actually has a Tiamat still, which I assume will finish up at some point, but really able to push that lane. They have 4 mid. They make UAS make a decision. Do we send multiple people top? Do we send all 5 mid? What do we do? They're kind of in between. That just gives PMM the opening to take both towers down, both inhibs, and pick up a good fight as well. 2 inhibs down. I'm assuming they'll go to 5-man that last inhib tower in the bot lane and try to push for game.
It's going to be scary to see UES trying to defend this. There's so much tankiness, so much. Oh! That is going to be a great combo. Oh, by far has the maximum duration stun. Immediately gets knocked up, immediately gets rooted, but the rest of them does not follow up in time. Hentel teleports right into the middle of the fight, stuns him up for one last time. They finally secure him. They're looking for Waifu now. He is getting low. The burn is going to finish him off. Midnight Drop gets a double kill. They're looking for the bottom lane tower. They're looking for the bottom lane inhibitor. And with 2 members of Undefined Esports down, and they might be looking for the game. UES looking to do anything, looking to clear the minions, looking to try and stall this game out a little bit longer, but what can they do? Hentel is low. Righteous Glory comes out from Kabloomy. They're looking for the engage. Raidara is gonna be the target of focus. He's gonna die. They're gonna focus on the Gamigam next. He's gonna go down as well. And 17-1 on Midnight Drop. Pet My Meme is going to finish this game. They are gonna move on to the second round of the losers bracket, while Undefined Esports is gonna be eliminated until we see them in the regular season, or maybe next weekend. We'll see.
Yeah,
it's going to be a victory for PMM.
From PMM. They're able to get that Ashe arrow combo into a hook from Nautilus on the priority target of Tristana. She's able to live from that initiation and able to jump away. Twisted Fate, though, hops right in with his ultimate, able to get a gold card off. He Zonia's right through that Nunu ult, and they're able to get the picks that they need. Just really well played on the side of PMM. They're able to push that advantage that they had, get repeated picks in the top lane, around Dragon, mid, all over the map, and just push non-stop for the win.
That did seem to be the case. It was just such a hard snowball from them. What do you think were the most essential parts of Pet My Meme's composition?
You know, for the most part, it's honestly just their laning phase. When you pick a Renekton, you really want him to pressure that lane, get a big lead, push as much as he can. Twisted Fate, you just want to live through it and get good ultimates off. From really high-level Twisted Fates, a lot of them say your first 2 ultimates are what really decide the game. His first ultimate stopped that initial Dragon on the side of UAS. He was able to pick up a kill. His second one was bot lane in that humongous fight where there were multiple teleports to TF ult. They got a big 3-for-1. That's definitely a win on the side of Twisted Fate, where you can pick up 4 kills and a Dragon off 2 ultimates. Great start from him. And then their bot lane just played fantastic. Ashe, obviously, just humongous. Ended 17-2-5. Repeated fights where they were able to pick up kills. Ashe arrows were on point for the most part. They were able to get just great initiations.
That was the case, and we do see PMM moving on to the next round of the losers bracket, where they will now face off ATN against ATN. That'll be in 15 minutes. As we're going to take a short break, we hope to see you back for the North American Master League Weekend Championship for PMM versus ATN in 15 minutes. We'll see you then.